On today's show, we're going to be talking about some more of the greatest stories from the Man of Steel.
Okay, so last week we talked about three, highly regarded, well-reviewed, revered Superman titles.
Yep.
This week we're going to be talking about some more. And we're going to start with Red Sun.
Yes, we are. The story of Red Sun, it's written by Mark Millar. And the story is essentially an Elseworld story. What if Superman had crash-landed in communist Russia instead of America during the time of the Cold War? And it's kind of like how he gets turned into this kind of weapon and leader for the Communist Party, and how America handled that threat. So what did you think of Superman Red Sun?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. And to be honest...
Yeah, it was good, whatever.
To be honest, I didn't think I would. Because, do you know what I thought it was going to be? I thought it was going to be evil Superman. Because just something, Stalin and him raising him up, I just thought he was just going to be this dick.
Well, clearly we know someone who's not a fan of the Marxist regime on this sofa.
So I had that feeling that I wasn't going to enjoy it going in.
Yeah.
But this book won me over very, very quickly.
Yeah.
In fact, the panel that it won me over on was the him saving Lois Lane. I was like, that was one of those sort of step back and just go, oh yes,
take it in.
That's great. That's lovely.
Yeah.
There are some differences. For example, there's no secret identity in this.
No,
there's no reason why there wouldn't be. There are things like that. The fact that he has the Stalin thing, which is weird because, the S is his
it's
home
an
world.
Elseworld story.
I know, but it's not like the S was American. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's got Sigmund Hammer. No,
to
make him Russian.
For a story that is set in communist Russia, this might be one of the most American stories I've ever read. It is so patriotic. It's like all the rest of the world crumbles under the communist regime and America stays strong throughout and all that kind of thing, which is fine. But no, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Yeah.
This is also a really great Lex Luthor story. The philosophy of Lex Luthor that I think Grant Morrison writes so well is so present here. The fact that Lex Luthor, he would have been just a great guy if not for Superman. Superman is what turns him. It's the idea that Lex is this brilliant guy and he's rightly so getting praised for all of his brilliant things.
Yeah.
But when Superman arrives, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because no one can ever compare to him, and how that drives Lex mad, and how that makes him strive to do better and to take Superman down is so understandable in this book. You just get it, that whole thing about the American dream and the fact that anyone can do it, anyone can be the best. Well, in the face of Superman, that sort of crumbles.
Yeah.
And that you can take two different spins on it. You can either be Lex and say, well, no, that's wrong, or we should all be equal here and we should all have a chance to strive to great heights, or you can do the opposite and look at him as this thing to which you strive.
Yeah.
And make you humble and whatnot. So no, this is a very deep book. You can get as much out of this book as you want to get out of it. It's very well drawn. It's very enjoyable. And the ending, the twist at the end was really, really nice.
I agree with pretty much everything you said. I love this book. Where I kind of find it funny is I still couldn't read Superman without an American accent. I couldn't do it. He's always got that, I'm Superman, all American. I couldn't have the Russian twist. And I tried a couple of times.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I was just like, no, it sounds wrong. And I really like the integration with Batman and Wonder Woman.
Oh, that stuff was really nice.
It's really nice. The artwork's beautiful. And I think for me, my favorite part of this entire book is Lex's final weapon. That to me just was heartbreaking, and it's such a beautiful moment and so well told.
That hits really hard, though.
It really does. And yeah, I love the kind of the thought process behind Superman, like right at the start where he saves Lois and he's like, I heard screams of terror. They weren't Russian screams, but they were pleas for help, I'm Superman. I help. I don't care where you're from. I'm going to help.
Yeah.
I really like that. And I like that they still kept that essence, wherever Superman comes from, he's always going to have that kind of morality, which I think is fantastic. I think I maybe disagree with the ending. I think maybe it could have ended a few panels before it did. The full circle. I was like, oh no, don't know how I feel about that.
If they'd have done it slightly differently, and it was still time travel, but instead of Russia the second time, it was America, and so it would have been in continuity. That would have been nice.
I don't know, but yeah, no, I think this book was absolutely fantastic, and you should go and pick it up.
Yeah.
Cool, right, so the next book we read was a recommendation from myself. I hadn't read it, but it was something that I was quite interested to read because I feel as though we need a bit of Zod. And that was War of the Supermen.
Yeah.
Essentially, the backstory to this book is there's a new Krypton not too far away from Earth. Superman leaves a reformed Zod in charge, and Zod goes, that Earth thing over there, I'm not really a huge fan of it. We're going to go and destroy it. That's where we jump into War of the Supermen, is just as he decides that they're going to take that out and how Superman deals with it. Yeah, so it's quite hard to find General Zod books. He's not a huge character in the comics. In fact, most of his mythos comes from Superman 2. That's where they kind of got the kneel before Zod attitude and all that.
There are a few.
So what did you think of War of the Superman? It's a very different book to the rest of them, and I already get a feeling I know what you're going to say.
I thought War of the Superman was absolute shite. This book is the reason the New 52 happened. It's convoluted. It's mired in entry-barring continuity. Like, if you're not a reader of comics, this is unreadable, completely unreadable. It exists completely on the surface. There's no depth here. It's just this guns blazing battle. Everything happens so quickly. Any emotional pangs that they want out of you, any beats that they want to hit, that want some kind of emotional response, are cut away from instantly.
Yeah.
It's just moving between all these different things. It happens. Everything happens very, very quickly and with very little explanation. It's full of plot holes and things that don't... what's weird about Superman is this whole, him being so powerful, yet his other Kryptonians are often portrayed, even under the yellow sun, as really not being very powerful at all and kind of stupid. And that is also the case here. Nothing about this book I liked. I didn't like the art. I have a bit of a thing for Supergirl, which this is a bit of an aside, but I found that out. Definitely have a bit of a thing for Supergirl. And I thought this was so terrible. Honestly, the New 52 happened because of books like this.
No one's listening to you anymore. They're all just looking at you going, okay, it's got a thing for Supergirl, that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know, the blonde hair and the Superman outfit.
You need to stop.
So, yeah, that's...
Real.
That's fine. Hey, listen, everyone has...
Steven had a laugh.
I've lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, New 52.
It's right.
Books like this where you just don't let anyone else in. It's just completely steeped in continuity. I've said all this anyway, but yeah, I hated it.
I do agree. This isn't really something you can just be like, I'm new to comics, I'm going to jump into War of the Superman. However, I feel as though not having read the backstory to War of the Superman, I was able to jump on board with it. And I definitely didn't think it was shite. I thought this was... It's by no means the emotional depth of any of the other books we've talked about, and probably that we will talk about.
But it tries to be, and fails.
I didn't say it didn't do it well.
Did you review?
Oh, cheers. Oh, god damn it! I lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, this is definitely a more kind of gun-ho approach to Superman, and it's. I think what I enjoyed about reading it, because I enjoyed it, I really did enjoy this book. I think what I enjoyed about it is a very different take from the stuff we've read, you know, which has been emotionally very heavy. Like, it's been...
So it should be.
Yeah, which is great. But every now and again, in the same vein with going to the cinema, I like to watch some, you know, proper cinematic indie pieces, some deep dramas. But every now and again, I do like to whack on Die Hard and just have a nice big action fun. And that's essentially what this book is. It is just like crazy action, you know. It does have some emotional notes. It doesn't hit them quite as well. But no, I enjoyed this book. If I was to, you know, suggest one of the books we're talking about today, this wouldn't be the one. If I was to say, oh, you want to read a bit of General Zod? Yeah, this is something you could read. Definitely.
I'd say steer clear. And if you own it, put it in a lead-lined box, lock it up, and put it in the attic and never look at it again.
Harsh. Okay,
so
well,
for all
note.
the next book we're looking at is a Jeph Lobe, Tim Sale. It is Jeph Lobe, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Jeph Lobe, Tim Sale book called For All Seasons. I think I've talked briefly about Kryptonite before,
yeah, I think you talked
which
about
was
it on the
also a
first
Tim Sale book. You know, so any of you who are familiar with these creators and all the wonderful things, Long Halloween, Spider-Man Blue, those kind of things, will know sort of what you're going to get from this, and it does hit those same notes. So, how did you feel about this?
So, For All Seasons, the story I thought was it was a beautiful story, or at least the springtime and the summertime. Oh no, the spring and the winter time I found beautiful. The stuff in between was a bit hit or miss for me. I don't think it quite nailed the Lex Luthor relationship as well as other books had. I don't think it dealt with the Clark Kent personality as well as other books have. What I will say about this book is the artwork is not good. Superman looks special. He's just got... he has a face like this, but his face is here. Like, everything takes place on, like, this much of his face. It's bizarre. I opened that first panel and I went, what is wrong with him? And, yeah, like, so, when he's Clark Kent, it kind of works, because it's like, oh, fish Clark Kent. But when he's Superman, it doesn't really inspire that true American hero. Because he doesn't even look, like, muscular. He just looks kind of flabby and, yeah, oafish and stuff. So, for me, the artwork was so off, you know. I didn't like the way he drew Lex Luthor, you know, and the rest of the family. It just, yeah, the artwork really wasn't for me in this book. But the relationship between... And I think it's the best part of the book. The relationship between Clark and his dad is just beautiful, and it's one of those things that every time something happened, I'd just be like, "Oh, it's just so sweet, and it's so endearing and so real." You know, him being scared about what to do with his future, and you know, although that's the other thing, and again, it kind of goes back to the oafish look of him. He just keeps running home every 5 minutes. He's just like, oh, it's all getting too much, and runs away. And I'm like, this just isn't Superman. This is a child.
Superman's always been quite reliant on Ma and Pa Kent. He's always been going for them to advice and help. And
going to them for advice is fine, but like he will literally walk in at some point in every issue and just be like, can I stay here for a few weeks? Because I was at the Daily Planet and they all called me names and I don't like it. Like, every issue, it was just like, mate, grow a pair. You can bend steel with your hands. What's it all about?
All right.
So, yeah, I was so on it, but I get the feeling you are completely...
Dale is wrong.
Oh,
do you know what? No, I do get what you're saying about the Tim Sale.
Derp.
It's certainly...
It's shocking! And the voice in my head, it's just like... Hi, kid. Like the guy from Office Space. I can't, where's my stapler? That guy. Oh, God.
Right.
What are you going to say? I'm wrong.
The thing is...
I'm done. Fuck it.
Right. Woo. I get that. There's certainly a truth to it. The character design.
I'm just continuing in my head.
The character design is different.
I'm sweaty.
And but having said that, it doesn't bother me. It's like a little, for me, everything you said is certainly true, but for me, it just comes across as, that's a bit off kilter, but it's something I can deal with. The other weird thing about the art in this, by the way, is the sense of scale. Like, this is...
What cause his face is
no, not on the characters, but like, there's a shot where they're walking through Smallville, and they're like, you see like the town, and then like Clark, and his head is like the same line as the top of the roof, and you're like, whoa, that's kind of spectacular.
But face. Oh, dear.
So the art is a little sort of off kilter, but this creative team for me is like just taking like a nice warm, relaxing bath.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just not, when I'm in their company, I just feel like I can relax and like just kind of chill. And it's just very comfortable for me.
Wait, are you in a bath while they're chilling with you?
I feel like...
that's weird.
No.
Hey, Jeph. Hey, Tim.
The effect that they have on me makes me feel like I'm in a bath. That's what I'm saying.
Does that happen a lot?
Doesn't happen a lot, but with this creative team, I feel like I'm in very strong hands. And for me, this book is just endlessly lovely. Like, it's just so many of the page turns are just me going, that's so nice. Like, oh yeah. Like, and I feel very similar to this, the way I feel about Secret Identity. I think Secret Identity is better. So,
by far.
But a lot of the same beats, I think it hits for me. And I really like the way Clark Kent looks in this. Like, I like
Clark
the size
Kent is
of
fine.
him.
Superman is doobie-doob-doob.
I know, I do not feel very strongly about the art. It is a little bit off kilter, but there's a lot of the art that I absolutely love. I love Tim Sale, so...
Well, there you go. So that's all the Superman books we have today. We really enjoyed getting your comments for what we should be reading. We are looking at those, so please send more down there because, you know, we only intend to do one more episode after this. But, I mean, if you guys want us to keep talking about more, tell us. You know, we will. Well, maybe. And then join us on Friday where we're going to be talking about the best books of the month of May.
We will see you then.
I'm not sure if this is like Superman or if this is like Spice Girl version of Superman. Super Spice.